Right, we're going live. We'll just wait a bit and see if people are going to come in to join the live. We'll just wait for at least 2 minutes or so. Yes, we're live. There we are. Anyway, we are live. Welcome into my live channel. So I just thought today that I'm just going to share. I'm going to do 3 things. I'm going to share one about my cancer update, and number 2, I'm going to talk about medication fatigue. Let me just say that, medication fatigue. And number 3, I'm going to talk about caregivers, those who are taking care of us living with chronic diseases. In my case, because I've got cancer. Those who don't know, I was diagnosed with cancer more than 2 years ago. It's called plasma cell myeloma, stroke leukemia. Yes, I went through a lot. I went through everything that everybody who's been diagnosed goes through. One, after I was diagnosed, I was given, my prognosis was not good. Anyway, after that, started chemo, and it really did work, put me on remission. So, and then I was qualified to do what we call bone marrow transplant. So then I did that, and then we did consolidation chemo, and then here we are now. That's when I'm doing my update. Started chemo yesterday. Yeah. According to the doctor, that chemo was going to be a little bit heavier. And then the good thing is I felt good. I'm still feeling good. The doctor said, the team said that I'm going to be feeling better yesterday and today because of the steroids. So yes, I'm feeling good, as they said. I even had just a small walk just to try and take off this energy that I've got from steroids to go off. So yeah, yes, I'm here. If anybody can hear me, can you just press like or comment to say you can hear me? Because there's something that tells me that we welcome. Remember to guard your privacy. And I don't know if that's blocking people that they want to comment. But anyway, if you can hear me, just press like if you can hear me speaking. So anyway, my cancer update, then I started chemo again yesterday. The reason being that when we did a blood test just a month ago, it shows that my light chains have increased. They've just been increasing. They've been increasing for 3 months. So then we did a bone marrow aspirate where they poked my bottom to take the marrow to check if there are things to worry about. Yes, of course there was. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, the light. Thank you so much. So yes, and then you find out that there is a bit concern that the cancer might be coming back. So there was a little bit of maybe some bad cells that were left after the transplant, things like that. So we started another chemo yesterday, and then it went well. Well, even my blood pressure was fine, so there's nothing to worry about. And then for me, steroids just give me a kick, man. I'm telling you, I can start a foundation and build a whole house in a day. That's how the steroids make me feel. So, and the side effect of the steroids is that they increase my blood glucose. They spike my blood glucose for some reason. So yesterday my blood glucose was not in a good light. Thanks the light. I'm talking about the light, but thanks the light. Yes, thank you so much. So, and then I've checked it. It was just not too bad like it used to be. It was around 8. If you're not a South African, I don't know how you guys measure your own blood glucose wherever you are, but in South Africa we just measure it with those numbers. If it's more than 10, it's a problem. If it's under 10, but the best way is to keep it under 6. Yes, we did that. So I'm going to check my blood sugar now here live so that you can see how bad it is, or is it better, or is it getting better, or is it not getting better. So I'm going to check it now to see. I haven't checked it. I had a walk today, as I said. Let's check if there's it spiked too much, or is it still in a good level. The good thing about steroids, they help me to give me energy and protect me in a way. But the sad part is they spike my blood sugar. Let's hope it's not too bad. So I think it's just good to check here. There we go. And then so that we all find out at the same time to see how it goes. So I'm sorry if I'm showing a little bit of blood. It's not my intention. Some people don't like it. So it is 6. That's I think, well, I don't know how to show 6 on the other side, but it is 6. It's not 9. It's 6. So that's a good number, which means walking has helped. So yeah, this is where we are today. So I've done my cancer update. If you want to ask questions as I'm talking, I don't mind. You can just ask any questions. It's fine. I can digress. I don't mind to digress. So yeah, that's where we are. Yes, that's where we are. I'm still feeling good. I'm sure it's because of the steroids. And then, yeah, so it's the first cycle. It will take 4 weeks. Yesterday we were doing the first day of 4 weeks of the first cycle of the chemo. So it went well yesterday, although it was trying to find the working vein. We ended up finding this one here. So it worked. So, and then I've managed to do 2 hours of chemo. So yeah, I'm still alive and kicking. So thanks to everybody, those who sending nice messages and stuff like that. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's my cancer update. That's how things goes. That's how things goes. But today I want to talk, guys, about, I hope the cancer survivors and cancer patients will find this video at some point. Maybe it will help to know that you're not alone. I'm in the journey with every cancer survivors and cancer patients. That's my point number 2 I wanted to talk about what I call it medication fatigue. I don't know if there's a term like that in medical things. I don't know. It's just it's me that I felt that I will just call it a medical fatigue. When once you've diagnosed and you get medication and everything, you go all out. You go all out. Especially for me, I did. You take medication on time. You focus on small little details about your medication. Well, now I only know some few things about my medication. Sometimes I don't even look at them anymore. So I just trust the doctor that they know what they're doing. But the thing is, though, it comes a point where it depends on your emotions as well, and it depends if you're stressed or you feel, because after being diagnosed, the fear that comes first is you nobody talks about it, but you fear death first, and then you see that you're not dying, so you get, oh, the first one is to accept that you've got cancer. That can take a little bit long. It is different for different people. But for me, I didn't have a chance to think about it, guys. I just had to go for it. I had to go for it. I had to accept the fact that I've got cancer very quickly. I had to accept that there was no other way. So yeah. So the first thing you just fear, the first fear that comes in is that you know that you've got cancer, and another fear, it's just that stay and lingering in your head. You just think that you're going to die. It stays there. Those emotions stay there for a long time. But after that, you take your medication on time. You do everything according to the book, and until as the time goes, and then you're being hit with, as I said, I'm calling it medication fatigue. You feel tired. You just feel tired of doing anything about anything. Even taking medication becomes a chore. You just you wake up in the morning, you think that, oh, again, I'm going to take this medication again, and it depends how your medication treats you as well. Sometimes the medication can be heavy, especially it depends on what time you're taking the medication. Those who are taking medication in the afternoon, you having not a good sleep, so it just becomes it becomes a chore. The other thing that we talk about that nobody will mention in full is that every aspect will tell you, do your exercise. I do as well. I do tell cancer patients and survivors to just do a little bit of exercise, move your body. But to be honest, it's not as easy as ABC. Everything becomes hard. Everything becomes a chore. But the thing is, though, if you just stick with it, and for me in this case, you just stick with it, and then it becomes your second habit to know that I'm taking medication at this time. I still do forget the medications that I'm taking in during lunchtime. Sometimes I do forget, but luckily I've got caregivers around me, my family, who always reminds me that it's time to take your medication, and I do take a medication. But yeah, it comes to a point where you really feel tired of taking this medication. It's not as easy as people think it is. But because of our lives, because we are dealing with very bad stuff. Cancer is not a joke, cancer is not a joke. Some days you are positive, some days you feel down, some days your emotions can just be overwhelming. It's not the same every day. But the good thing is, once you keep your positive mind, you keep thinking positive, it just helps your body to start healing, and you get better, and you can focus, and things like that. Yeah. So, so I don't know how we'll feel tomorrow, because as I said that yesterday, during chemo, I had steroids. Steroids really make me feel good. I'm feeling good today. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow. But yeah, the 2 days for me are always crucial. If I know that I'll have experienced some side effects, luckily no side effects. I didn't feel like vomiting, no diarrhea. I'm sorry to talk about those things. I know if you are eating, watching me, sorry, man. And then I didn't have those symptoms, those side effects. I mean, that comes as early as possible after chemo. No, I didn't have those. I'm still okay. And the only thing that I know, it comes as the time goes for me. The rash will start coming through my neck. I'll show you guys if you don't mind. If you mind, just say in a comment that no, don't show us the rash. But for me, that's the side effects that comes with chemo. I'll see the rash on my legs and on my neck, and otherwise there's nothing else that I could worry about. So if people have got ideas of how to deal with rash, you can write a comment and say this is how things are going with the rash. So yeah, that's the medication. In fact, it happened to me, where there was a time when I thought, hey, taking medication is not you feel like you can stop, that's the thing. Because the thing is, we forget that this is going to be our now life. it's our new normal. You have to take the medication. There's no other way. Otherwise, if you stop, the cancer might come back very, very strongly. So it's better to just tell your mind and tell your body that I'm going to take this medication, even if I feel like it. But it does come to a point where you think, what's the use? Some people will even start to drink alcohol, which is not good for cancer. If I'm not saying people mustn't drink alcohol, but just ask your doctors if you can drink alcohol. Some people will say red wine is better, but for me, because my cancer is blood cancer, so it's I don't. Well, that's my decision to say I'm not going to take any drop of alcohol at all, so that I'm going to stand a chance to beat this cancer once and for all. So yeah, and so yeah, and then that is why I'm glad to read a comment like that. May God heal you. Yes, that's what we're praying for. That God might just heal the body completely, my body completely. And another thing that I'm happy about is that they find out this thing before it grows, and then so we're just going to flush it out, and then see if I can go back to our new normal, where that I'm living with this thing now. It's on a side. Cancer is always something on a side. Even if you're busy, you're doing some things. There are things that you cannot just going all out in, and just do them, because the fact of the matter is our body, your body, my body is not as the same as before I was diagnosed with cancer. And again, after chemo, you don't just get healed so quickly. My consolidation came took 4 months. After that, I was still having not good energy to do anything like I used to do before. So it took a little bit of time for energy to come back properly. Well, it hasn't been coming back properly. It's just that I'm happy that I'm still alive and I can do stuff. I can go to my work. I can go speak with people and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So yeah, if you've got any questions, guys, please, I don't mind to digress. I can answer some questions. Yeah, and another point that I want to talk about is to encourage caregivers, to speak to caregivers who are caring for people with chronic diseases. I know it's not easy if you are caring for people who are dealing with chronics, like if you're dealing with me having cancer. I think I can speak honestly that during the first few months, when after I was diagnosed with cancer, I'm not sure if I was a nice person to my caregivers. I'm not sure. They can speak for themselves at some point when they are ready to come to talk to media. They don't like to do YouTubes, like stuff like that. But I'm not sure if I was a good patient. I'm not sure, because nothing good you can say to cancer patient to keep their spirit up. It's so difficult. I even don't know what you can properly say that can really help people with cancer as a caregiver. I really don't know what. The only thing I can say is the best thing to do as a caregiver is to try and listen to them and listen to what they feel and what they think. I think that will be my best bet that you can do. Because if you're a caregiver caring for a person with cancer, it's not easy, guys. We complain about small things, well, I used to. I'm better now. You complain about everything. If they bring you food, you complain about the food they're bringing. You listen to every small detail. That's where I think if you're a caregiver, don't talk too much. You can just try and listen. If you want to give an advice, I always say, don't talk about yourself. When you're listening to a cancer patient, I don't know about other chronic diseases, how they are like, people who are living with HIV and AIDS and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know how they are like. But what I can tell you is that if you speak to just don't talk about yourself in the process. Try and avoid speaking about yourself or somebody else that you know. As the time goes, though, you can see if they're starting to be comfortable, and then you can speak about it. It's not a problem. You can try and speak about it. Hopefully, and try and lift their spirits, because I know that as the time goes, as a caregiver, you'll master the skill. You'll see what's working and what's not working. And when it comes to food as well, if you're a caregiver, and when it comes to food, that's a difficult part, I can tell you, because as a cancer patient, I don't know what I like that day. And listening to the doctors and the dietitians, you really don't know what you want to eat that day. But I can tell you that the only thing you can help is to try and suss it out. You can hear one thing that the person is always talking about. For example, when I was doing my transplant, I was always talking about Greek yogurt. So as a cancer, as a caregiver, caring for a person with chronic like cancer. So listen to those kinds of things that, okay, Greek yogurt, and buy it and see if they'll eat it. If they do eat it, it's fine. Because remember that when some people are in chemo or any kind of cancer medication, they don't have good appetite. And then sometimes they can ask you to buy food and don't eat it. So don't get offended. It's not you. It's not you really as a caregiver. But the only thing I can advise you, just as a caregiver, love your loved one. Just support them as much as you can. Listen. That's the best skill I can say it helps. Just listen and try and find out the ways to deal with it. I know that in a family where there is a cancer patient, like in my family, they don't talk about their feelings. I know they don't share their emotions, but I know for a fact that they do feel emotional as well as I do. For them, it might hit more harder than it hits me as a cancer person. So that is why I would advise if you are a caregiver, I would advise you to have some people to talk to as well. If you're a caregiver caring for a chronic person, try and find people to talk to as well, because I know that you want to be strong for your partner, for your kid, for a person you're caring for. If you are a parent, it's even worse. You're trying to be strong for your child. But what I can say, try to find other people to talk to. Try and be strong in that way. It's good. But at the same time, try and deal with your emotions as well. Because the fact of the matter is, we are all in a family where there is a cancer person like myself. We are all hit hard by this disease. It's not easy, even for the kids. You think the kids don't notice, they do. You can even see their behavior changes every time you talk about medication, especially if you're talking about going to the hospital. It hits them so hard. It hits them. Thanks for those who are pressing likes. It hits them so hard because they cannot speak to you because you're the one who's more sick. But the fact of the matter, it hits them hard. The kids that are still going to school, you'll see with their behavior. Once they hear the word you're going to the hospital, oh, it hits them hard. You'll hear the teachers complaining about their behavior. You'll be getting calls to say what's wrong with your kid. But the fact is that they know that one of their loved one is having a very bad disease, as they can call it, because they don't know how to understand cancer. And once you recover, my son came into the door when I was cooking and said, "Oh, my dad is fine now," because they don't understand cancer. Once you start moving around, they think you're good. So, which is great for them. I think it helps them to process what's going on. It's not easy. It's not easy. So, as a caregiver, try to find somebody to talk to as well, because it's not easy to be in that environment where you are staying with a sick person. I give all thumbs up to parents who are caring for those patients who are over 21. If you're a parent and then you're dealing with or your older kid who's about 30, 35, I just say well done, because you guys, I can see that some of the guys are doing great work, great job, because as an elderly parent, to see your child at that age getting cancer, that they are still young. So I can see that you guys are coping very well. So I give you thumbs up. I say well done. It's not easy. Um, you know, for a person like my age, I'm 52 years now, there is that thing to me. I don't know. My family does share this, but there is that to say I've got the brain power to deal with it. And I know that if it was my son, or my it was, or my wife, that was not going to be good with me. So in a way, I know that it's me, so let me deal with it. But I know as a caregiver and as parents and spouses that that's not easy, man. So try to find somebody to talk to. So before I just forget about just move along with this topic of caregivers, when we're talking about food, it's another tough thing to do for a cancer patient. I don't know about other chronic diseases. So my my thing is, once a person can start moving around, uh, try to ask more questions of how you can help. Like when it comes to food, do you want veggies? Do you want meat? Do you want what? In that way, you are trying, by asking them, you're trying to encourage them to eat right, because to fight cancer, it helps to eat right as well. So I know I like cakes. Some person would like something else. I do love cakes, especially chocolate cake. Believe it or not, I love it. So they can try and encourage me to eat a cake. They say, no, we'll get it on Thursday. I can see that they are trying to say to me, no, not today, but Thursday is going to be fine, or Friday or Saturday. Because my kidneys are always giving up and down numbers. So I like red meat as well. So in that way, we're eating red meat in I can call it professional way. I eat red meat twice a week, sometimes once a week. But I do eat chicken a lot. So you need I'm encouraging cancer patients as well. Talk to your family about what you like, what you want to eat. What is the most basic protein that you like? If you like chicken, fish, tell them, I like more fish than chicken, or I like more like red meat than these other meats, or I like turkey, or all kinds of I'm encouraging cancer patients to talk about it as well. But as a caregiver, try to be smart about it and listen and help. The other thing that caregivers we need to mind is that if a person has been indoors, in bed for about many months, say 4 or 5 months, during tough time of survival, when they are taking chemo, stuff like that. If it's time to take them out, just and don't try and complain them with they want to do things too much. Help them to move around, to see their strength, because that will help. That will definitely help. Don't complain about that. The doctor said you mustn't do too much. Don't refrain from those kind of things. Try to help in such a way you can stop them when it's time to stop. Or if you think that that's too much today, stop them in a nice way. Another thing is bathing, going for bath and going to the toilet. That's where you must start as a caregiver to say, well, you're the one who's doing it anyway, to help them move, to tend them in bed and wipe them. But if you think they're having a better day, just try and say, can I lift you up? Can I take you to the toilet today to see if you can go and wee in a toilet? Or do you want to go and do a shower and say I'll monitor you? If you want to do shower yourself or wipe yourself, it depends in a stage of the disease. If they can start now to move from bed to start doing some step or wanting to go outside, encourage that. Encourage that as a caregiver. Don't even the thing that people don't notice. Maybe it happens. Maybe it's me, because if you don't know me, my first language is Zulu. It's not English. It's Zulu. So Zulu people in our culture, we're not speakers, but we are listeners and observers. So don't change your face. If you come to a cancer patient and come with your grumpy face, don't do that. Two, if your patient is saying something like, "Can I have a cake?" And then you'll say yes with your mouth, but your face will be telling another story. I don't know how you can help that, but try and refrain on doing these things. Get in there, in that room or wherever your patient is, get in there with their heart to say, I'm going to help as much as I can. If you think cake is not a good idea, instead of showing it in your face and say yes with your mouth, just ask a question there. Do you think it's wise to start eating a cake before you can eat some nutrition? Just a little bit of fish and veggies. Try those things first, then I'll give you a cake. Try to work around it, then changing your face. when I'm going to the hospital and the doctor is going to give me any news, whether it's bad or good news, my doctor is like a guy. It's a woman. I nearly said she, because we're struggling with gender issues now. So she's straightforward. She's like a man. She's like 1, 2, 3. If she's giving you whatever news she's giving you, she doesn't flinch. But because I'm Zulu, I always look at her face to see what her face is telling me. If there's a little bit of not even a smile, if there are no frowns, if she's speaking and even a voice, I know that as much as she thinks she's talking like it's bad news, but her face will tell me that's not bad as I thought it will be. Only once she said to me, we are doing good. That's good. But I'm telling you that we notice we observe your demeanor, we observe everything. When the first time she was telling me about bad news, she was trying to be matter of fact, but at the same time didn't want to give me a very, very bad prognosis. But she was matter of fact about it. But I looked at her face and then I thought, oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. As much as she's giving me the numbers, trying to crunch the numbers for me to give me a little bit of hope in the same token. But I could see that, that's bad news. I saw her face. But now as the time progressed as well, I could even the team, like the nurses, you look at their faces as they speak and then they say, no, we're not doing bad. Although they're not allowed to give you any kind of news, but you can see if they're giving treatment and then you can see their demeanor. I remember when they were putting the pot here, my nurse was an Indian lady. So that day, they gave me a pot. I think they made a little bit of problem when they were doing incision. They cut me like a little bit bigger. So the thing that was here, she saw a little bit of a leak. But because I was in a special ward where you don't need those kind of things to happen, she freaked out. I could see in her face, but her words were nice. Say, Mr. Zigalala, I think I'm going to take this thing off and check it and see if there's something we can do about it and stuff like that. But her face was telling me that this is not good. And she disappeared for a few minutes. I think she was speaking with the doctor. And she came back with the plaster, the heavy tape to put it on so that they make sure that it's not bleeding. At least they monitor it for a day or so. So in that way, as a caregiver, don't change your face if you're going to your patient. Thanks to those who are pressing like, by the way. Thank you so much. Don't go to a caregiver with another good demeanor. So what you can do if you need to cry as a caregiver, I know because it hits all hard. Just go in your private room, cry and finish crying, wipe your tears, be confident. Get in there when you know that it's easier said than done. Get there though and be confident and try and help your patient and don't show. If you're always smiling, try and be that nice person and try and help. Because as a cancer patient myself, I know that the days are not the same. There are good days and there are very bad days. Well, so far, I'm happy that I'm not facing most of the bad days at the moment. I'm enjoying my life. I'm living like today. It's a nice day outside. It's a beautiful day. I just did it. I took a walk. So if your patient is having a really bad day, try and understand, because this disease, it can really, I'm trying to find an easy way to say this. It can really, take us down. Our emotions, you just don't know what to feel in some other days. You'll feel anger, you'll be so angry, and the fear as well. And you're trying to ask so many questions. If you know the counseling strategy, you know that we go through all those emotions. You blame God, you blame everything, even maybe colleagues at work. You end up blaming almost everything. The days are not the same. So as a caregiver, you must understand that okay, today is not a good day. Try and understand it. Don't have words. Don't have words. Just leave it and try and help as much as you can because days are not the same. So yes, I thought I would just mention the issue of caregivers. If you've got questions, you can ask me, even if it's not related to what I'm talking about. Just ask me anything you want to ask. So yeah, but to be honest, our prayer is one, is that we get healthy and we get more time that we can get. It's over 2 years now, as I'm saying. I didn't think that I was going to be alive by this time. And then not only alive, I'm feeling better than I even used to feel when I'm still okay before I was diagnosed with cancer. So I'm feeling really, really good. And yeah, the only sad part is that if it's like this when I'm on treatment, there are days that I'm not at work, I'm not doing emails, I'm not doing anything. So, that makes me, I don't like to be indoors most of the time. I like to be outside and stuff like that. So, but I've learned, I'm not young, I'm 52 years old, as I said. I've learned to to try and understand that this in 2 days, like yesterday, chemo, today, monitor to see if there are any side effects. So as I said, I'm happy that I don't feel any side effects, no nausea, no runny tummy yet. Runny tummy can come anytime. I'm still fencing food. I'm hungry. Might be because of the steroids. So my emotions are nice and strong. I don't feel too much emotional. Well, if you're going to the hospital, it always reminds us that always reminds me. Maybe cancer people will tell me the same, to say, going to the hospital, it always reminds me that you've got cancer. So that can be really emotional as well. But because I'm used to it now, I'm taking it on a positive way, to say I'm going to the hospital because I need to get help. I need to be looked at, to be taken care of. Doctors need to see if things are getting better or worse. They need to know those things. And earlier, the better. Yeah. So yeah, days are not the same. Days are not the same. So yesterday, as you can see, can still speak. I'm trying my best to speak English, and I can, I can do almost everything, because I'm not as bad as I was before I was diagnosed, as I am today. I do things myself now. I like to cook things. If I'm in a house, I'm cooking for myself. I do some chores, like just to move around. I wash dishes. Um, they here at home, they've got dogs, so I clean the floors if I feel like, but I just leave that to them, because I don't, I don't I'm not a dog person, so I don't want to deal with dog hairs and stuff like that. Well, the good thing, the dogs are it's hot here to those who are in the South Africans, they know it's hot in South Africa, so they live outside. One dog likes to be inside most of the time. So, but anyway, that is why I try to avoid sweeping the floor, because I'll sweep it now. It's dirty now, so I just leave that for them. But I do the chores in the house, just to in a 2 days. Yesterday I had chemo in 2 days, so mostly indoors. I went out for a walk. I just wear a mask if I think I'll be speaking with neighbors, because people like to greet and talk. So I'll wear a mask, and another thing to add in what I'm talking about is that, as a cancer patient, don't be afraid to talk about your cancer, because it helps. It helps other people. Getting the information about my cancer, plasma cell, myeloma, leukemia, it wasn't that easy. The scary part was, every time I go to YouTube or online, just putting those words. You can even do it for yourself if you want to see. You just put the name, and then it tells you all sorts of things. You can see that, oh, I'm dying, man. Or a person on YouTube, you'll find that they're in a very bad way, and then you just think, I'm in a bad way as well, and this person. So it just becomes hard. It just hits you hard. It just hits you hard. So I think the best way is, try and, for what I can say, just try and be positive. As a cancer patient, try and be positive. You see, the other thing that I forgot to talk about is that it can the chemo can do what we call mental, the fog, the mental fogness. It's, you cannot think properly or straight sometimes, but it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah. So thanks to those who visited my page, and thanks to those who were in here to listen to me talking a lot. Please, if you guys come back, please ask a question. I will just open this floor now for the questions. I've been talking a lot. If you want to say, ask me your questions, it's time to ask. Anyway, thanks to the likes and thanks, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna give this time to questions as I'm drinking some water. Yeah. So I think I've covered my topics that I wanted to talk about. My cancer update, where I am. The other issue of medication fatigue, I think I've covered those. And I spoke about caregivers. So let me wrap it up for today. Thanks to the person called The Light. Thanks there for your comment, and thanks to those who press like. I think I have to wrap it up now. I'll wait for a bit if somebody comes back in, if they have questions. But yeah, that's it for today. And thanks everyone. I know some people will watch it later. Thanks for always watching my videos and coming into my channel. I'm trying to grow my channel. If you want to help, you can please in my videos press like. And yeah, if it helps at all, yes. And then if you do those things, subscribe and like, it helps me as well, because at the end of the day, we want to grow the channel and make it better and see if there's anything that will come out of it. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. But yeah, that's my cancer journey for now. We started, guys. Started with chemo. We are here now. So yes, we are here now. So we started. So please, even if we finish the video and you still want to ask, please go to the comment section, ask the questions, or even give advice. The fact of the matter is, I'm traveling in a road that I don't know. There are people who've been having cancer for much longer time than me. So please comment, give advice, and yeah. And then I'm always grateful to those who are praying for me, praying for my family. Thank you so much, guys. But please try and just comment, just ask questions, give advice, anything like that, because yeah, we cannot say we know it all. But anyway, I think I've been talking for a long time now, 42 minutes, that's too long. So yeah, I want to say thanks, guys. Thanks for support. Thanks for, as I said, thanks for praying for my family. Yeah, we will catch up next week and see how the chemo will do next week. How will it look like? So we'll do that. And yeah, so that will be another live. I'm going to try and do live at 11. It's the time when I'm free and there's nobody in the house, and then I can speak freely. I won't be shouting at anything or dogs or people, or trying to answer questions if people are wanting some questions. So yes, we'll do the same next week, 11 and to 12. I'll do live. But catch Ebenezer TV. And, just go and check our videos and try and listen to them, and see if you can help. I talk about many different issues about cancer. Yes. And yeah, I'll drop another video maybe tomorrow or Saturday that will explain a little bit about my exercise and training and see how it goes. And if there are news and any other news from the doctor as well, because they always try and catch up if there's something they think I need to know. So yeah, that's all for now. Thank you so much to those who came and watched. Thank you so much. God bless you. Yeah, that's it on my side. Let me just say bye. I'll see you on the comment sections. Please ask, comment, press like, and subscribe to those who haven't subscribed. Thank you so much. Siyabonga. Now I'm still struggling to switch this off. Can you believe it or not? Yes, let me see if next time I'll do this section of questions and answers. Right. Let's see how to stop this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yes, I'm sure.